So I named this small intervention designing the new enterprise, because I think this is why we are all here. We, in a way, we are perhaps not happy with the way enterprises are being designed today. We think perhaps that there are better ways if we look at the other perspectives. And so what is this new enterprise that we perhaps want to design? And we have a little theory on that, our small company, which is that enterprises, businesses of any nature normally work like this. You have money, you want to gain money with your enterprise, or you want to save money, you want to do something, but the idea is you make a successful business, and that works by doing something, and with the number of times you're doing it, you're getting more and more money. So with the number of transactions, your enterprise is getting more and more successful. The problem is that with the number of transactions and the number of customers, the number of people you are serving, or also the number of people that you have in your enterprise awkwardness also goes up. And I think we all experience that. Good examples are, for example, Amazon sending me an email every 2 days asking me whether I want to buy another vacuum cleaner because I bought one once on Amazon.com. Of course, I don't, because I already have one. And it's nice to imagine the enterprise like a person to determine its awkwardness. So you imagine you have a good friend and he's calling you every day to offer you another vacuum cleaner. Or you call some call center and it says, your call is important to us, please wait. And then you have to give this person, or the persons are changing, you're giving them some strange numbers, they can't help you, they say, it's not my duty to do that, it's the other person's, and so on. You get advertising all the time, which is meaningless to you. So enterprises behave very awkwardly. And the new enterprise might be different. Perhaps we need to look less at markets and more at the customer. We have to be less talking to the masses and be more personal, more close to people, adapt to their context, stop thinking in silos, being more holistic, stop being greedy, being more sensitive, for example, to the planet we are living on. We have to integrate the enterprise into people's everyday experiences. And also we have to exercise perhaps less control over or try to exercise less control over the ecosystem and be more networked with other actors. And we think that architecture and design are uniquely positioned as mindsets and as disciplines and as approaches to do that. So how can we reduce the awkwardness and get it back again while still being successful with the enterprise? That's the challenge. And that's what we, I think, will explore during these 2 days from different perspectives. So we will start talking about the social enterprise, which is, well, you can interpret that in different ways. The role the enterprise plays in society, the role, the way it is integrated into communication and interactions. We will also talk about the enterprise experience. So how do we experience enterprises? Via web, via apps, via software, on the phone, in physical spaces, everywhere. And is it possible to design this experience? We will talk about branding in the sense of having a strong core idea of the enterprise, what it is doing, what it is about, having a strong identity internally and externally, and how to design and shape the enterprise with that identity in mind, or perhaps even be innovative with it. yeah, and we will, in the end, we designers and architects, we have this problem that we always have to find people that want to pay for our work, which is not obvious because it's one of those things that you don't actually need in a mandatory way. There are buildings designed without architects, so you can also design enterprises without having a designer or an architect on board. So how can we talk to the people with the money? How can we integrate our processes into the investment processes in the enterprise? Perhaps the investment process has to change to better suit us, and how can we do that? This will be subject of the closing keynote tomorrow by Chris Potts. So we think that all these challenges are part of the enterprise design idea, and that every discipline that we have in the room actually adds to this perspective and adds value. And it's not so much about determining the differences, but looking at the one thing that we have in common, which is this complex thing in the middle. We are looking from it from different perspectives at it, but we want to redesign it, so we should have something to talk about. If you have seen the book we published in 2012, you might recall this diagram. So when I'm saying enterprise, this is what we interpret it to be like. So we have an organization with employees, and this is more a commercial enterprise. I will talk tomorrow about a case study with the United Nations where the enterprise is looking completely different. But in a commercial enterprise, normally you have an organization of some sort legally, and it's structured in some way. You have suppliers, you have people investing in your enterprise, you have partners you have to collaborate with, you have customers, of course. You might even have competitors. Yeah, the enterprise, as we see it, is actually this ecosystem. So how we design for all these people, all these roles, and make it live. So to do that, we came up with this framework that is subject of the book, Intersection. That is a collection of 20 aspects that we think are important to designing enterprises. Those aspects more or less correspond to many of the disciplines that we have in the room. So we have enterprise architects, we have interaction designers, we have organizational coaches, we have real architects who are actually designing buildings or are used to do that, perhaps not doing it anymore. So creating places, we have experienced designers, content strategists, and so on. Yeah, and I just want you to know that we are still, this is not a very fixed framework. We haven't changed it so much, but it's more to be consistent with the book because you can't change a book afterwards. So what we noticed. But we are thinking about how to apply it in a design process. So how do you move through these different layers? This is one of the ideas is kind of a V model where you look at the big picture aspects, then dive into the details, have some rendering output and validate it against the top again. We are currently thinking about how to integrate this kind of process in more in larger context, because we have the problem with our clients that projects are actually not enough. You have one project and then it might be successful or not, but then it kind of dies away, and we are thinking about how to integrate this on the program level, how to integrate change management, how to coach perhaps the customer to do more of the design work himself, and also to integrate the culture of design in the organization. So we will hear about that. We are also thinking about design management. So this is one idea of having a maturity model, like many of you might know the CMMI model with 5 levels of how to deal with, well, how well to deal with something. And we were thinking, yeah, that on the lowest level, perhaps you are like throwing money at some graphic designers and some perhaps web designers and so on, and then perhaps you try to integrate it a little more, to connect it, to make sense of it, and to manage it holistically. We don't have that model yet, but we want to have it, and we would like to exchange with you in order to create it. We are also thinking about models because we think that designing and architecting is mainly about making models, canvases, prototypes, illustrations, scenarios, blueprints, and those models need tools. You have pen and paper, but you also have other tools. You have prototyping tools. We have people at this conference from Qualiware, that is a enterprise architecture, a business architecture modeling tool. And yeah, we were thinking, how can we make better tools for enterprise design? How can we incorporate this kind of thinking in tools, and how can we make better models that are connected and non-flat and represent the complexity with an abstraction that actually helps making decisions. So if you are interested in this stuff, we have a LinkedIn group called Enterprise Design. Some people are already in. Yeah, please join, please exchange with us. And yeah, we are not sure yet if we will make another book because, well, first there are the shortcomings of print media, but then also it was actually an awful process to write it. So I'm not sure if there's another book coming, but we will publish something else to reflect that thinking, because we are still very interested in the topic of enterprise design, and we think this is still something very new, still something not very well established, and there's a lot to think and to write and to draw about this topic. So, you can call me if there's any problem, or you can find me. You can also find anyone else with the black badge. And yeah, I would like to welcome Diane Hinchcliffe for the actual opening keynote. Thank you.